Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us this long weekend Monday. Well, first tonight, more than 24 Tasmanians have been recognised as part of the Queen's Birthday Honours. From scientists to a motor racing legend, our new governor, and to those who work tirelessly to serve the community. The list celebrates the local stars of our state.
Blinky Bill was beloved by many, one of the classic Australian kids' TV shows.
Oh, what's he done now?
The voice behind the cartoon koala, Robin Moore. Today, she was announced as a member of the Order of Australia for her charity work, including with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I care deeply and passionately about being Australian. And to be, nominated for this wonderful Australian award is something that's so moving for me.
Moore is one of 27 Tasmanians awarded Queen's Birthday Honours this year. New State Governor Barbara Baker is one of 2 achieving the highest accolade, Companion of the Order of Australia. Dr. Stephen Rintoul is one of the country's leading Antarctic scientists. His love for the field, driven by a curiosity of the ocean.
The science that we do is really aimed at trying to put society in a place where they can make some decisions about what we're going to do about it and how we can act to avoid some of the consequences of climate change.
A passionate ecologist for 4 decades, Dr. Eric Wöhler says his passion can be traced back to seeing David Attenborough's original life on Earth as a teenager.
I was presented with an opportunity to go to Macquarie Island for my honours degree and work on Macquarie Island on subantarctic penguins.
John Bow was 15 years old when he jumped in his first race car. He's still racing 50 years later, with many, many victories in between. He's pleased his sport has been recognised.
I think it's generally a good thing for motorsport because in Australia, motorsport is quite a big sport, but it doesn't have the attention that mainstream media attention that, say, football or cricket does.
Tasmania Police Assistant Commissioner Adrian Bodnar has been recognised with an Australian Police Medal. He says he's shocked by the recognition of his 30-year career, one he merely followed a few friends into.
I hadn't done a great deal of research at that time, so I recall sitting in the auditorium thinking, geez, what have I really got myself in for?
Captain James McDermott recognised for his service to veterans. He helped many others through the difficult adjustment to civilian life.
There must have been a lot of people who were prepared to support the nomination. So as I say, it's a little humbling to think that these people were, thought that well of you.
I don't know how it's happened, but somebody's obviously dobbed me in.
Anaesthetist John Paul trained more than 100 young doctors in his career, enjoying the satisfaction of handing over his extensive knowledge.
And some of them have gone to the very top of the tree. There's professors and world acknowledged anaesthetists.
Distinguished himself too, having served on the board of international medical associations. Graham Kent worked tirelessly to serve his community, first in the sport he loved, sailing, and later as a counsellor.
It starts off in your own interest. You get involved in an organisation because that's what you want to do, and then it leads on to further things.
Like all those awarded today, he's a worthy recipient of the highest honours our country has to give. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
It is one of the most iconic events on the Tasmanian calendar, but a dark cloud is lingering over Dark Mofo. Only 2 new cases of COVID were recorded in Victoria today, but with borders to Melbourne still shut and many incoming flights cancelled, businesses are seeing bookings cancelled also and are looking for certainty.
Final preparations underway, the surreal world that is Dark Mofo opening the gates on Wednesday. But as excitement builds for a country starved of live entertainment, it's unclear if Tasmania's borders to Melbourne will open in time, leaving travellers in limbo.
We want, of course, as many patrons to visit the state and Dark Mofo alike, but we can't put Tasmanians' health and safety at risk, and that's why Public Health will keep monitoring this situation daily.
Because of the festival coming up, I think there's a lot of people holding out, hoping that they'll be allowed in at the last minute, so I guess it's just a wait and see.
Here at the Alabama Hotel is one of many businesses feeling the pinch of border uncertainty. While room occupancy is strong, Melbourne remains a mystery for a venue usually flat out over the winter festival.
Lots of cancellations, upset people on the phone, and we're trying to do our best to work with them to rebook their rooms for them.
And with 7 flights between the two cities cancelled tomorrow, it's a similar story for bookings here at Customs House.
Most of those have rung up and they've expressed that they know they probably won't be able to come, and so they've cancelled. They've done the right thing. But, you know, there's always maybe one or two that are hoping that they'll be able to get here.
We'll update the public as much as possible as restrictions can ease, but we won't put the health and safety of Tasmanians at risk.
A long wait ahead for a bruised sector, just wanting answers. Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, to some breaking news now, and Tasmania will host 2 AFL games in consecutive days for the first time in history this weekend. COVID restrictions on crowds have forced the AFL to move Saturday's North Melbourne and Brisbane clash to Blunston Arena. On Sunday afternoon at UTAS Stadium, Hawthorn will host fierce rival Essendon in its first trip to the state in nearly 30 years. The state government says the games will be conducted in a COVID-safe manner, with players to fly in and fly out for the matches. An activist has gone to extreme heights to make her voice heard. Anna Brozek has tied herself to a treetop in the Tarkine as part of a campaign against a mining company's proposed tailings dam on the west coast. The Bob Brown Foundation says it will continue the tree sit as long as it takes for the rainforest to be protected. Tasmanian medical organisations, including the Menzies Institute, are among those fighting to help find a cure for MMD. Researchers at Menzies say huge fundraising efforts over the past decade have allowed them to make headway into finding a much-needed cure for the disease.
We're really making great progress. A huge number of trials have started. We've done some really great work and really progressing our understanding of MMD.
They're asking Tasmanians to be generous and support the Freeze MMD appeal. After a life dedicated to finding a cure for the devil facial tumour disease, 2 very important members of the team have gone into retirement. A Huon Valley sanctuary has welcomed the new Tasmanian Devils into a specialty program designed to give the marsupials a new lease on life.
It's a life of luxury for these Tasmanian Devils, enjoying a well-earned retirement after a busy career.
The old devils are sort of looked over. Nobody really wants to see the old devils that are getting older, a bit fatter and a bit greyer. So we thought that was something that we could do.
Here at the Huon Valley Caravan Park, Pink and Marina have joined the village. For years, they were part of the Devil Recovery Program, experts working to find a cure for the deadly facial tumour disease. But now they've been replaced as part of that crucial research. It's their time to relax.
They're no longer needed, so we take these guys, makes room for the ones whose genetics they do need in the system.
They have put the Devils back on the map in Tasmania, so they've played a very important role, and we think as some reward that somebody had to do something, and that's simply why we opened up.
On Thursday, they made the trip down from Cressy to their new home, joining the 2 Devils already on site.
They're going really well. They get on really well with the other 2 as well. They go past each other and say hello in their language and then continue on.
Rowan and Leanne working hard to create this sanctuary, also a space to inform and educate their guests.
It's been so informative getting to see them up close, and the information and education we've been given has been amazing.
Ready for a new chapter in life. Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
To the Cripps TSL Player of the Year votes after round 11. Canberra's Will Campbell was awarded the 3 points in the win over Glenorchy. The Northern Bombers' Jay Foon continued his stellar form. And Launceston defender Alec Wright took out top honours in the Blues Demons match. Now to the leaderboard, where Foon has extended his lead at the top, followed by Launceston duo Jake Hines and Jay Blackberry. The Northwest Football League women have capped off the All-Star Series with a comfortable win over the NTFA. The side booted 6 goals in a 20-point victory at Dial Park in Penguin, marking it 2 wins from 2 matches. Devonport has stolen victory in the dying stages of the Lacca Seljak Cup final after both sides were deadlocked after 90 minutes. The Strikers thought they'd sealed the win in extra time, but a gripping final minute goal from Glenorchy sent the match to penalties. It came down to this.
And to keep his side in it.
Penalties, a gut-wrenching but no doubt fitting way to split the winner of a thrilling cup final.
Pittsburgh saves! Devonport are your 2021 Lacca Cup champions!
Devonport the ones lifting the trophy after a match that felt like a heavyweight title fight, each side trading blow for blow.
Off a player and in the back of the net.
Even in the 117th minute, the Strikers thought they'd landed the knockout punch.
Mulroney at the back stick! The captain!
But in the dying stages of stoppage time,
Oscar Thomas! Thomas on the bench! Minute left! Absolute pandemonium!
however, the joy ended there for the Knights, the reigning champions unable to repeat last year's heroics. In the women's match, an early goal to Launceston United had the league newcomers daring to dream of a maiden top-flight title.
Oh, here's to you, Jesse Robinson, Launceston United! Off and running.
They held the lion's share of early field position and possession, but out of nowhere the momentum shifted. First a striker slip, then a goalkeeping slip-up.
Oh, neat, go through the hands and into the bottom corner.
Another fortuitous goal to strike weapon Maddie Chambers left the Warriors in a commanding position. One more put the result beyond doubt.
Charging into the box, Chambers comes to the post and Maddie Chambers.
After last year's heartbreaking loss, this result gave Olympia plenty to celebrate. Meanwhile, local Daniel Watkins' preparations for his debut games have hit a speed bump, with the canoe slalom athlete capsizing in the semi-final of the World Cup in Prague. The 25-year-old recovered well, powering home after his tumble at the third gate, but finished 20th overall. Rower Siona Wilson is the latest Tasmanian bound for Tokyo after being selected as a reserve for the Olympic team. The 26-year-old will travel with the 38-strong squad as a backup but won't compete unless there's an injury. She joins Huon's Sarah Hall, who will take part in the rowing 8 team. Indy Lights driver Alex Peroni had a horror start to the Belle Isle circuit in Detroit.
And then he stuffs into the tire barriers. I spoke too soon. He went the long way around. He completed the pass, but the problem, Davey, he ran out of racetrack.
The Tasmanian crashed out on lap 7. Fortunately, he walked free from the car uninjured. He ended the day with his season's worst 13th place finish.
Good evening. 14 degrees today in Hobart. Launceston had the state's top with 15 degrees, with 14 in Burnie and Devonport. Around Tasmania, 15 at Smithton, Edison, Grove and Flinders Island, 14 degrees at Cressy, Lowhead, Wynyard, St Helens and Campania, 13 for Strawn with 7 degrees for Lyowini. Cumulus cloud over most of the state today with small areas of sunny breaks. Further out, a frontal band sits over WA. Low-level cloud extends over southeastern regions of the country with mid to high-level cloud to the north. Tomorrow shows a complex low over the Bight with associated fronts and troughs extending over South Australia. Highs dominate the remainder. Variable winds 5 to 15 knots, tending northeasterly during the afternoon, increasing 15 to 20 knots about the northwest. Seas around the 1 metre mark around the state. There's a moderate flood warning current for the Meander and Macquarie rivers and a minor flood warning current for the South Esk River. Onto the forecast, cloudy through the south tomorrow, 14 in Hobart, 13 for Adventure Bay, 11 at Tarraleah. Showers in the north, 15 in Launceston, 14 for Devonport and Bridport. 14 degrees also in Burnie and Strawn, showers and 13 at Marrawar, with 15 in showers for St Helens and Swansea, 15 also at Whitemark. Showers forecast for the north and the east coast on Wednesday, extending to the west a little later. Showers for the north and the east again on Thursday, with showers on Friday mainly about the west, the south and the east. Around Australia tomorrow, 18 degrees in Perth and also Adelaide, 16 and cloudy for Melbourne, 19 in Sydney, 22 degrees for Brisbane. And those clouds are still lingering around the state, 11 degrees in Hobart, 12 in Launceston and Devonport. That's all from me, Kim.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. See you tomorrow. Well, that wraps up tonight's bulletin. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.